it's a great looking crowd. Question is, can you back there hear me? Really? That is amazing. All right. Well, I feel good about where I'm standing. I hope I've got everything tucked in and appropriate because I'm as open and out as I can be. But I will tell you this, I'm glad we don't have one of those damn microphones because Frank Zeidler and Dan Hone and Emil Seidel and the Milwaukee Socialists, they never had microphones and they won elections. So I feel like I have been forced back into the real world of politics by the unfortunate realities of our recent election. So it's great to be with you. And it is great to be here right now. Is that television on? Nah, just I'm talking in the corner. It is great to be here right now tonight to celebrate the only clear mandates that came out on November 4th. Number one, Wisconsin wants to raise the minimum wage to a living wage. That won every place they put it on a ballot. Number two, Wisconsin wants to expand access to Badger Care by taking federal Medicare funds, bringing that money in, doing the right thing. And number three, most overwhelmingly of all, up and down the state, urban to rural, towns that voted for Scott Walker and towns that voted for Mary Burke across this state, the better jurisdictions representing the better part of 1.2 million people. And remember, we actually had jurisdictions equal in the amount of votes the winning candidate for governor got, voting to say money is not speech. Corporations are not people. And we have a right to organize elections in which our votes matter more than their dollars. That's our mandate. We won that election. The problem is that across this state, on November 4th, hundreds of thousands of people, not a small number of Wisconsinites, went to the polls, especially in western Wisconsin and northern Wisconsin, up in the Fox Valley. They voted to raise wages. They voted to expand Badger Care. They voted to say corporations are not people, that we have a right to organize free and fair elections not defined by money. And then they voted for Scott Walker. Now, you could say, I understand that, some of them voted for Paul Ryan. It's hard to imagine. My friend Roger Bybee, he's been out after Paul Ryan for the better part of 20 years, exposing the reality of Paul Ryan. Roger Bybee, right over there, one of the great journalists in Wisconsin. And he's done a fabulous job. He has told people the reality of this guy. And yet, we had this disconnect, right? This disconnect of people coming to the polls to vote on every progressive issue available and then flipping over and casting their ballot for people who will oppose every one of those initiatives at the state and the federal level. And so this is what you have to ask yourself. Are your neighbors crazy? I'm not on that side. Or have we entered into a circumstance where our politics is delinked from our issues? Where people actually do not connect the issues, the ideas, the values with their electoral votes, with their votes in campaigns for public office. I think it is the latter, not that your neighbors are crazy. And I think that is a crisis of our politics, and we must accept that while you may like an individual candidate, you may even like a particular political party, We have created a politics in this state and this nation that no longer functions. And if we want to fix this country, yes, we've got to move to amend, but also we have to move to make a different and better politics in America where people don't see that. They see that connection. They don't break it apart.